any lightning associated with it. If you live between Lake Butler and McClinney along State Road 121, heads up, you aren't under a tornado warning right now, and this thunderstorm is not severe, but this is at least showing some signs of rotation, and I'm waiting for the National Weather Service to give us a little more information on that. If you're in Lake Butler, this thunderstorm headed your way. We had a lightning strike with it about 5 or so minutes ago. Southwest of Lake Butler, off of State Road 121, very near. This is near the Union and Alachua County line. The Union, Alachua and Bradford County line. This is showing also some signs of rotation as well. This is just the atmosphere that we are right smack dab in the middle of. It is very wet. It is very humid. Mother Nature has plenty of ingredients to work with here today when it comes to the potential for severe weather and tornadoes. Right now, the most threatening storm over Lake City, and this is passing to the south of downtown Lake City. Still rotation present here on First Alert Doppler HD, very near US 41 and US 441. South of downtown Lake City, Southeast Country Club Road. I've been saying that road a lot lately, just within the last 5 to 10 minutes. And okay, we just got some new data in. You saw the image basically move there to the north and northeast as it approaches US 90. If you live along US 90 east of downtown Lake City, this is headed your way. This potential tornado is headed your way. So let's dive down here, get some streets on here. US 90, where it meets up with 10A. US 90 very near the State Road 100 intersection, Southeast County Road 245, Southeast Andrew Park Drive, Northeast Jones Way. This is Northeast Washington Street, US 90, Northeast Osborne Way, Northeast Varnes Place, Northeast Cortez Terrace, Northeast Moody Court. If you hear your street being called out, and there was Lake City Gateway Airport, this is going to move very close to the Lake City Gateway Airport and the Florida Gateway College. Just on the other side of State Road 100, there is Southeast Industrial Circle, Southeast Rosewood Circle. If you hear your road, then it's time to take shelter immediately. And we don't have any confirmation. We don't know for sure that this has a tornado with it. You don't want to take that risk. It's not worth your life. Seek shelter in an interior closet or bathroom, away from windows. You want to put as many walls between you and the outside of your home as you can, as this is tracking just southeast of downtown Lake City, very near the Lake City Gateway Airport and the Florida Gateway College. So a couple more thunderstorms out there that we are keeping an eye on. Ian, take this full, and I'm going to work on First Alert Storm Analyst here for just 1 minute. We have another product here that we can actually get a better look at the wind. The wind that First Alert Doppler HD is detecting as this is passing just south of Lake City in Columbia County. You are under a tornado warning until 4 o'clock. Okay, First Alert Storm Analyst is behind me here. Thank you very much, Ian. Tornado warning until 4 o'clock for Columbia County, downtown Lake City. There it is right there, the intersection of US 90 and then US 41 and US 441. Here is Watertown. Watertown, you are under this tornado warning, and the area of concern is headed for Watertown right now. Here is the wind. You see the green, and then we also have the red here. This is showing the wind shear, the potential rotation. The green is wind toward the radar, which is in Jacksonville. It's way over here, and the red is wind away. And you have those right next to each other. You got the away and you have the toward, just within a matter of not even miles apart from each other. So that is a sign of rotation that First Alert Doppler HD is picking up, and that's why we have to watch it very, very closely. I can actually control Storm Analyst from the computer here. So let's hop over to that right now. I'm going to switch the radars here. We're looking from Jacksonville, and I'm going to switch it to our radar up in southeast Georgia. So we're going to reset here. If you live in Watertown or near the airport in Lake City Gateway Airport, it is time to take cover. This is headed for Watertown. And this is a better look at the wind in the storm, and I'm going to push in really tight here and get some of the streets on here. This is US 90 441, State Road 100 is this road right here, and here is Watertown. The bright green is at the very least gusty winds. And then we have the gray coloring here, which is wind away from the radar. The green is wind toward. These are right next to each other, and the circulation that we are tracking here as it is going to move very close to Watertown. And okay, at this moment, I'm not actually getting any streets on the map here. Also, these are developing pretty quickly right in front of our eyes. Worthington Springs, Dukes, and Lake Butler, you are not under a severe thunderstorm at this time, but there is rotation here. You see the bright green and then a little bit of red. So I'm going to have to watch that pretty closely. And then we have this other area north of Lake Butler tracking toward McClenny. Heads up, McClenny, if you're in McClenny or you know anybody there, not under a severe thunderstorm warning or tornado warning at this time, but definitely something I am watching very closely, as these aren't even big storms, folks. They aren't that big, but they don't have to be that big to actually produce a tornado and do damage. So let's go back to Max 1, and we will continue here on First Alert Doppler HD. Tornado warning if you're just joining us for Columbia County until 4 o'clock p.m. This is headed for Lake City Gateway Airport. Lake City Gateway Airport and Watertown. This is right on your doorstep. This area is about to move out of the tornado warning area too. Okay, we got a local storm report. A tornado touchdown near State Road 47, 2 miles southwest of I-75. So that was actually back here about 5 to 10 minutes ago. We have a confirmed tornado. This is from Columbia County law enforcement at 3:35 p.m. And I'm going to pull this up here so we can all actually read it. A tornado touchdown near State Road 47, 2 miles southwest of I-75. Power lines and large trees down along State Road 47. That was back at 3:35. It's now 3:53. And this storm that produced a tornado earlier this afternoon is now on the east side of downtown Lake City, headed for Watertown, very near the airport. They're east of Lake City, just east of State Road 100 and near US 90. So we're going to go back down to street level mapping here. There is Lake City Gateway Airport. There is US 90, College Avenue, Southeast Industrial Circle, Northeast Okinawa Street, Southeast Timberwolf Drive. Let's get a few more in here. I'm going to time this out here in just a second. There is Washington Street near US 90, Northeast McCloskey Avenue, and then we get up toward Northeast Gum Swamp Road and I-10. We're talking I-10 east of Lake City near Olustee. This is going to be west of Sanderson. So we're talking I-10 near the Baker County and Columbia County line, State Road 263, Northeast Gum Swamp Road, and Northeast Thomas Camp Road. So we have a confirmed tornado. This was at 3:35 p.m. The tornado touchdown near State Road 47, 2 miles southwest of I-75. Power lines and large trees down along State Road 47. And this storm that has a history of producing a tornado is right now on the east side of downtown Lake City. So now is the time. If you are east of Lake City, even northeast of Lake City, along I-10, then you need to seek shelter immediately. If you know anybody in this area, give them a call. Make sure they're weather aware. There is a little bit of lightning with this storm. It's not all that noisy, but it is dangerous. It has produced a tornado here, and we have a new tornado warning now. This is for Columbia County At 3:55 p.m., a severe storm capable of producing a tornado was located over Watertown or Lake City, moving north at 15 miles per hour. So now it is moving a little bit more due northerly, and this is until 4:30 p.m. This is until 4:30, a tornado warning. Ian, so we can just adjust the time. Thank you. Brand new tornado warning. This thunderstorm has a history of producing tornadoes southwest of Lake City. And we're going to track this very, very closely. At 3:55, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Watertown or over Lake City, moving north at 15 miles per hour. And it has a history of producing a tornado. That icon that you see right there was a confirmed tornado at around 3:35 p.m. This was southwest of I-75. This was reported by law enforcement at around 3:35. Tornado touchdown near State Road 47, 2 miles southwest of I-75. And they do have damage reports of power lines down and large trees. So I'm going to send this out here on social media platforms here quickly. And if you are in Lake City, you know anyone in Lake City, especially east of downtown, just give them a call. Make sure they know what is going on with the weather. And if you are there east of downtown Lake City, near Watertown, near the airport, take shelter. Take shelter, stay there until we give you the all clear. This thunderstorm, the area of rotation is actually about to cross US 90. So let me type this out here and then we'll get back to First Alert Doppler HD and I'll show you where this is headed. We're going to time it out here as soon as the computer here can actually catch up. So let's get back to the National Weather Service, and they are at least keeping an eye on these thunderstorms in Bradford and Union County that I was talking about a few minutes ago. There are these areas of rotation that are at least they are eye-catching. If you're southwest of McClinney, heads up. Keep an eye on the weather over about the next hour or two. Lake Butler, you have a thunderstorm southwest of you. We'll talk about that here in just a minute, but the most serious storm right now is east of downtown Lake City, right on top of the intersection of US 90 and State Road 100. And it is moving to the north at 15 miles per hour. So I'm going to time it out here minute by minute. As it's moving to the north, this is about to head into some more sparsely populated areas. This is headed for Kindergarten Center School right now. That is just east of downtown Lake City. And then as it tracks north into Columbia County, there are less roads and neighborhoods and that sort of thing as we get into the Osceola Wildlife Management area, moving toward Greenfield, basically saying east of 441 in Columbia County, where the areas aren't that populated. But we're watching this very closely, watching it like a hawk here as it tracks over I-10. I'm going to call out some roads here, and if you hear your street or you know someone who lives on these streets, then it's time to take shelter or make sure that your friends or loved ones know what's headed their way. This is Northeast Gum Swamp Road, Northeast McCloskey Avenue, Northeast Harrington Court. There is Northeast Gum Swamp Road as it continues paralleling I-10, and the Northeast Thomas Camp Road. Eventually, this is going to run into 263, where Thomas Camp Road intersects with that. They're in central Columbia County. US 441 also included in this tornado warning as it tracks up toward Northwest Lassie Black Street, where it intersects with US 441. Less neighborhoods, less roads here as we get into the swamp here in Northeast Columbia County and Northwest Baker County. But this thunderstorm has a history of producing a tornado, so we will be watching it very closely. I will here in the First Alert Weather Center. Let's check in here on Union County. Those of you in Lake Butler, this is a very small storm. It has a little hook echo on it here. You see, it looks like a little finger or a comma head that is just kind of pointing down here. This is near the intersection of State Road 18, and then the lightning is blocking out this other road here for me. This is State Road 121. Southwest County Road 239A, South County Road 231. Then we move up into Lake Butler, State Road 100, South County Road 229, and Southwest County Road 235. I mentioned that just a second ago, and this is looking a little more and more organized, basically as time goes on. So I'm going to switch it to the wind here. And this is the velocities that we have. The bright green here over State Road 18 and State Road 121 where we have the red. This is a little bit of rotation, a little bit of wind shear. It is tracking toward Lake Butler at this time. Doesn't have any severe thunderstorm warning or tornado warning on it, but I at least see it right here. It's plain as day. There is some rotation with it. The National Weather Service monitoring it as well, and we're going to track it here over the next several minutes. Just waiting for new information from the National Weather Service. Very bright winds that we have here south of Lake Butler, and my director Ian is bringing me a glass of water. Ian, thank you very much. Right now, the only storm that is at least immediately cause for concern in Columbia County, where we have a tornado warning until 4:30, and this has a history of producing a tornado. It did so around 3:35, and I was live here on Fox 30 telling you all about it, tracking it over I-75 there south of Lake City. So let's get back to this storm. I'm going to switch the radar back here to a different one, and the rotation's still there where we have the green, the brighter green, and then the basically mute color, what looks like a gray here. They're just on the east side of downtown Lake City. This is moving north of US 90. It is now between US 90 and I-10 northeast of Lake City and northeast of Watertown. So I'm going to step out of the pane here briefly and get a drink of this water here. And here we go. This tornado warning until 4:30 for Columbia County. Also monitoring a couple other storms west of Highway 301. This is in southern Baker County and southern Union County, where there are at least a couple areas that I'm watching. It's those really bright colors, and there's not a whole lot to it. I'm going to circle them here so you can actually kind of see what I'm talking about here. Southwest of McClinney and then southwest of Lake Butler. And these are just a couple of really small storms. There's not a whole lot to them, but there is lightning. And First Alert Doppler HD is detecting a little bit of rotation with these as they swing on up to the north and northeast. The only tornado warning we have right now is for Columbia County, and it is until 4:30. I'm going to track this until it crosses Interstate 10 as it moves out of more populated areas near Lake City, Watertown, and the airport, and into rural areas. And the colors here, not all that bright in the wind mode here. And this is at least a little encouraging to me. We have still a little bit of green and a little bit of red that are close together, but they aren't that bright. They aren't hot. They are still pretty close together. And this thunderstorm has a history of producing tornadoes. And that's really, really important when we're talking about thunderstorms and severe weather and the potential for tornadoes. Let's zoom out here. I'm going to give you an overview, just kind of show y'all what's going on. Okay, we have a new tornado warning. This is for Alachua, Baker, Bradford, and Union County until 4:45 p.m. This includes Lake Butler. If you're in Lake Butler, you need to take shelter now. This thunderstorm, you're starting to get the lightning and the heavy rain. The potentially tornadic part of this storm is still back to your southwest. They're in Lake Butler in southeast Union County. A brand new tornado warning for Union County until 4:45. This does include Lake Butler, Rayford, and Worthington Springs. So let's hop over here and check in on the National Weather Service at 4:04. So a minute ago, and I was telling you all about this storm. At 4:04, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Worthington Springs, moving north at 10 miles per hour. So a tornado warning in effect for Alachua, Baker, Bradford, and Union County. This does not include McClenny, but it is the tornado warning includes neighborhoods just south of McClenny. So this goes until 4:45. Columbia County until 4:30. We still have the other tornado warning for Columbia County until 4:30, which we're going to check in on that here in just 1 second. Updating on Twitter and on Facebook, you can tweet us at the hashtag FirstAlertWX if you're on Twitter or on Facebook. If you have pictures of the weather going on around you, please be safe while taking pictures or video, but feel free to send those in. Of course, you got to worry about your own safety when we're talking about severe weather and potential tornadoes. So, okay, let's go back up to Columbia County. We have a tornado warning for Columbia until 4:30 p.m. This still includes Lake City, but Lake City proper, the area of concern is moving away from you. So I'm going to dive down to street level mapping here and show you exactly where it is. This is downtown Lake City. This is the area of concern where you see the big blob of red and it's moving away. So if you're in downtown Lake City, you're in the clear. You're still under this tornado warning. It is going to be adjusted a little bit here, but you're in the clear. If you are northeast of Lake City, northeast of 100A, this is northeast McCloskey Avenue and northeast Gum Swamp Road up toward I-10. This is going to cross Interstate 10. This is between northeast Thomas Camp Road and northeast Gum Swamp Road. I'm looking at these two streets right here. The potentially dangerous part of this thunderstorm is going to cross I-10 between northeast Gum Swamp Road and that is also northeast Thomas Camp Road. So that is a tornado warning for Columbia County until 4:30. It has a history of producing tornadoes. Now we're going to move back to the southeast here and track this thunderstorm that is just southwest of Lake Butler. This has a pretty good radar presentation with it here. It has this little hook echo, the little kink there at the bottom where it looks kind of like a finger or a comma head, and that is just the rain and the radar itself actually depicting a rotation. This is the rain that we show you on any given day in Northeast Florida during the summer, but the wind can actually pull it and make it move as it is rotating and spinning. So let's focus on this one here. The rotation is a little bit more pronounced here. It's a little bit brighter than the one we saw earlier by Lake City. County Road 231. There is State Road 121. It is headed your way right now, south of Lake Butler. If you're in Lake Butler, it is time to seek shelter. I'm going to time this out here as it is moving to the north-northeast at about 15 miles per hour. If you are east of Lake Butler, between Lake Butler and Stark on State Road 100, you need to seek shelter. If you are east of Lake Butler or downtown Lake Butler proper, it is time to seek shelter. So there's the movement as it is moving to the north-northeast at 15 miles per hour. I'm going to update the timing here on this little cone and then draw it out. And so here we go. Tracking this up through Union County. This is headed for Lake Butler in 6 minutes from right now. 6 minutes before the potentially tornadic part of this storm is over Lake Butler. It's time to move to your place of safety, interior closet or bathroom, away from windows. Take a blanket or a pillow with you, maybe even a bike helmet to shield yourself, keep yourself safe if there is flying debris. Johnstown at 4:31, Rayford at 4:43, there is Ellerby at 4:55, and then Sapp by 5:05. By that point, we are talking about southern Baker County, and southeast Baker County is included in this tornado warning. The rotation, not as impressive here, just over about the last 5 minutes or so. It's not as bright. It's still there. That means we still got to keep a really close eye on it. This thunderstorm is tracking toward McClinney. If you're in McClinney, heads up. You aren't under a tornado warning right now, but this thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is headed your way. So I'm actually going to time out that thunderstorm itself. Take that big box off the screen here, and here we go. Okay, so this is moving to the north-northeast at about 15 miles per hour, and it will be moving into McClinney at around 5:25. That's still a long time from right now. Again, McClinney, you are not under a tornado warning, but this thunderstorm includes the tornado warning part of it does include southern Baker County. Headed for Rayford at 4:20. That's when the rain begins. Olustee Battlefield Historic State Park, 4:53 is when the rain and lightning begins. Sanderson, 5:01, McClinney, 5:25, and there is Ed Fraser Memorial Hospital neighborhood at 5:27. So we're still a long way out for this potentially being a threat to McClinney, but if you're in Lake Butler, this is headed your way within about the next 4 or 5 minutes. So we still have a tornado warning that continues for Columbia County, our thunderstorm that is northeast of Lake City now with a history of producing a tornado. It has lifted northeast of Lake City. It is crossing I-10 right now. If you live along Northeast Thomas Camp Road and Road 263, this is west of County Road 250A. This potentially tornadic part of the storm is headed your way right now. So let's switch back over to velocity mode here and check it out. The colors are not all that bright, and that is at least a little bit of good news here as we are northeast of McCloskey Avenue, north of US 90. This is approaching I-10 right now, northeast Gum Swamp Road and northeast Thomas Camp Road. This potentially tornadic part of the storm moving over those roads as we are talking right now. So let's get back to our Lake Butler storm. This has a tornado warning on it until 4:45. This includes Alachua, Baker, Bradford, and Union County. Until 4:45, I'm going to go back to First Alert Doppler HD here. Ian, go ahead and take this full. I need to grab my phone and see what is going on here. Also going to grab a quick drink of water. You've been hearing the buzzing in the background. That is the First Alert weather app that's been going off. Also getting some word from our news partners, 104.5 WOKV. We are simulcasting on the radio. If you are joining us on 104.5 WOKV on your car radio, or maybe you're listening at home with a tornado warning in effect for southern Baker County until 4:45 p.m. This includes Lake Butler. This is right on your doorstep. If you are in Lake Butler, it's time to seek shelter. It's time to get inside, away from windows, put as many walls in between you and the outside of your house as you can. Grab a blanket or a pillow, maybe even a bike helmet. Take those with you as you go into your place of safety. It looks like the potentially tornadic part of the storm is going to either move directly over Lake Butler or just east of downtown Lake Butler. So we're going to dive down to street level mapping here. Alachua, we have an update on this tornado warning, and Alachua is no longer under this tornado warning. It is for Baker, Bradford, Union until 4:45. At 4:13, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Worthington Springs, moving northeast at 10 miles per hour. The lightning is kind of in our way here. Let me take that off. South County Road 231, southwest 150th Avenue. This is just south of Lake Butler here in Union County. This is very near State Road 121, southwest 150th Loop, southwest 88th Drive, South County Road 231, there it is, southwest 3rd Avenue, southwest 6th Avenue as we get in to, this is Lake Butler itself, southwest 3rd Street, State Road 121 where it intersects with State Road 100. They're basically in the downtown area of Lake Butler. This is headed your way within the next 4 to 5 minutes. I'm going to time out this area of the storm, which is the potentially tornadic part of it. It is It is headed for Lake Butler. At 421, Florida Corrections Medical Center neighborhood. At 423, Danville. At 432, Lake Butler. At 433, Lake Butler Hospital and Hand Surgery neighborhood. So this is within about 10 to 15 minutes. So we're talking about Lake Butler itself, downtown Lake Butler, where State Road 100 and State Road 121 actually meet. And this tornado warning does extend up into southern Baker County. This lasts until 4:45. At 4:13, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Worthington Springs, very near Lake Butler, moving northeast at 10 miles per hour. We don't have any confirmation that this has produced a tornado. Let me put the lightning back on here as we still have some lightning. This storm, it is a bit on the electric side, and that is something we typically look at when we're looking at potentially tornadic storms. If we see a lot of lightning here, that is a sign that this storm is either strengthening or it is maintaining its strength. It's not weakening, in other words. And so that's what I'm seeing here with this Lake Butler storm, as we have a tornado warning for Baker, Bradford, and Union County until 4:45 p.m. Lake Butler, it's time to take shelter immediately. Move to your place of safety, away from windows. You want to put as many walls between you and the outside of your house as you can. Typically, a bathroom is the best place to do that. A bathroom, if you have a stairwell, a basement is the best place you can be. Underground, always the best place you can be, but it's not always an option. Let's check in on our tornado warning until 4:30. This is for Columbia County. This is lifting north of I-10 right now. I'm going to switch the radar back here and check in on this. Looks like we do kind of have some gusty winds here that are moving over I-10 in between Northeast Gum Swamp Road, and this is Northeast Thomas Camp Road. As it is tracking toward, it just says Road 263 there on my map. They're the indicator there near County Road 250A. This is the area of rotation that I am tracking. Let me move it up a little bit here. It is a little bit bright. You see just with the update there as it lifted to the north that it got a little less bright. So the tornado potential here is a little bit less. That's good news. It is moving out of populated areas, and we did have that report of a tornado southwest of Lake City around 3:35, and I was tracking that live here on Fox 30 as it was moving through. We're crawling the information there at the bottom of the screen as well, as we still have a couple of tornado warnings in effect. These are for Columbia County and then also for portions of Bradford, Union, and Baker County. No word of a confirmed tornado south of Lake Butler, but if you are in Lake Butler, you need to be taking your tornado precautions right now. So I'm going to zoom out here, kind of give us an overview, and it is wet. Jacksonville is actually in a lull here. The weather is quiet, and this is basically the driest it's been, and we're about to see the rain moving back in. We're on CBS 47 here live tracking these tornado warnings in Northeast Florida. Things are quiet in Jacksonville and on I-95. But I am watching very closely these areas west of Highway 301. A lot of lightning that is really picking up over Lake Butler. I'm a little bit concerned about that storm, this tornado warning until 4:45. There's a little bit more rain back by Gainesville that is going to be moving in to neighborhoods like Keystone Heights and Stark and Middleburg and Palatka eventually as well. And we're going to have to track these very closely because there is not a lot behind this big batch of rain that can interfere with all of these thunderstorms. That's what we look at. If there is a thunderstorm that doesn't have a thunderstorm by it, if it can separate itself, then chances are greater that it could actually strengthen and potentially drop a tornado. There is a report of a funnel cloud. You see that red icon there. That is a report of a funnel cloud northwest of Orlando. And so we're going to have to monitor these very closely. Excuse me, I just ate right before we came on here and broke in on live television here on CBS 47. NASCAR going on over on Fox 30 right now, but we're going to stay here on CBS 47 because we have tornado warnings that are moving through towns here in Northeast Florida. And this storm over Lake Butler, this is a very intense storm. If you're in Lake Butler, you need to take shelter now. If you haven't already, you need to turn the volume up on your TV set as you go to your place of safety. Look at all the lightning here. I'm actually going to count these, and this is a lot of new lightning too. 30 lightning strikes that First Alert Doppler HD is counting in this storm over Lake Butler over the last 10 minutes. And the really bright white ones, those are all new. Those are within probably the last 1 to about 3 minutes. And so this is a serious storm. You need to take this seriously. If you're in Lake Butler, I'm going to turn the wind back on here. This is looking from the Jacksonville radar, and we do have some bright color here. This is over Southeast 169th Lane, Southeast 181st Court, Southeast 9th Avenue, Southeast 18th Avenue, and then Southeast 22nd Avenue. It is right on your doorstep. This is going to cross State Road 100 southeast of Lake Butler. There is Lake Butler, or downtown Lake Butler, there where State Road 121 meets State Road 100. And this is State Road 100 and the county line between Union and Bradford County. And the circulation, or the rotation, the potential spot where we could see a tornado drop at any time is tracking towards State Road 100 along and just northwest of the Union Bradford County line, in between the county line and Lake Butler itself. If you live in between the county line and Lake Butler along State Road 100, this is headed your way within the next 5 minutes, and you need to take shelter now and take these storms seriously. We've already had a reported tornado southwest of Lake City, and the atmosphere is primed for that today. Lake Butler Hospital and Hand Surgery at 427. The area of concern, the potential rotation headed your way at that time. And then Johnstown at 440. This is going to basically move very close to the east side of downtown Lake Butler here over about the next 10 to 15 minutes. As this tornado warning continues until 4:45 for Union County. Portions of Bradford County, you probably got that alert in the First Alert Weather app or on your phone, but the area of concern is out of Bradford County, and it is north up along Butler, along the county line between Union and Bradford County. Tornado warning has been expired for Columbia County, so we can go ahead and take that down and just focus on the Baker, Bradford, and Union County tornado warning until 4:45 p.m. This is basically the main area of concern now. If you're in Lake Butler, I hope you're in your place of safety right now. A lot of lightning with this pretty small storm. This is all it is right here. It's pretty small, and it is basically just over Lake Butler. So I'm gonna switch the radar here and actually look at one of the different products that we can use, and this is basically a debris tracker. And you want to look for the places where it's not this maroon coloring here. There's a lot of this maroon, but as we get into more of the yellow and the green shaded areas, that's where there may be the potential for flying debris. So that's why we're taking this very seriously. It is a tornado warning, and you got to take that seriously. If you're in Lake Butler, this is tracking your way right now within the next 10 to 15 minutes. No word of a tornado on the ground, but these storms that we have had in Northeast Florida have a history of producing tornadoes, and so we have to watch them very, very closely, especially as they move through populated areas like Lake Butler. As I'm watching this on the First Alert Doppler imagery, it's looking at least a little bit less organized. There is less of that, stinger, that hook echo, that kind of finger area that looked like it was curving back, but there is still wind with this. There is a lot of lightning. This is a lot of lightning for a really small storm. A sign to me that it is still intensifying. And so we have to keep very close track of it. Over Lake Butler, as there is a lot of lightning. I'm going to count the lightning strikes here. And this is within the last 10 minutes. There have been 40 lightning strikes. And that box is probably hard to see. There we go. We can see it now. 40 lightning strikes just within. This is not a big area. This is not a big storm, folks. But they don't have to be big to pack a serious punch. And that's what we saw yesterday down by Orlando. I know that's not here. Central Florida is not here in Northeast Florida. But this is the very same atmosphere that we have over us today. It was down over Central Florida yesterday. And maybe you saw the videos of the tornadoes that were near Orlando. I'm not saying we're going to see tornadoes like that here, but the potential is there. And you need to know about it. You need to make sure that you know so that you can protect your life, your family's life, and potential property as well. So one tornado warning that we have, this is for Union, Baker, and Bradford County until 4:45. And we have no confirmation of a tornado. We do have a confirmed tornado that was due south of Lake City. This was earlier this afternoon with a tornado warning that I was tracking. I was telling you about this minute by minute on CBS 47 around 3:30 earlier this afternoon. That was about 1 hour ago. We had a tornado touchdown. This was near State Road 47, 2 miles southwest of I-75. Power lines and large trees down along State Road 47, and that was at 3:35. The tornado warning for Columbia County has been expired. The only active tornado warning that we have is for Bradford. And okay, now we have a significant weather advisory, including portions of Clay County and Putnam County. So let's go ahead and zoom on out here. We'll get an overview here. Lake Butler, be in your place of safety. This potentially tornadic storm is moving over you right now. It's going to be noisy and loud. You need to be in an interior closet or a bathroom. A stairwell also works. A basement, underground, the best place you can be as this thunderstorm is passing over you. Okay, significant weather advisory for Clay County. This is also for Bradford County with this batch of rain here down to the south, stretching from just north of Gainesville all the way over toward Palatka. This is tracking towards Stark and eventually Lake Butler again. So Lake Butler, you have a tornado warning and a potentially tornadic storm. It is going to rain on you here just within a matter of minutes after the rain ends that is storming and pouring on you right now. So let's focus on the tornadic storm that is here in Union County. I'm going to time out the circulation. As it crosses State Road 100, this is going to cross State Road 100 east of downtown Lake Butler and west of the county line. So there's an update there on First Alert Doppler HD and the radar imagery. Lake Butler, right now, 431, 434, Lake Butler Hospital and hand surgery, 446 at Johnstown. This heads for Rayford at 456, and then Ellerby at 510. Those are the times of arrival for this potentially tornadic storm. Okay, getting some reports from Gainesville. This is well down to the south. No hail or anything. And that's what we expect here with these storms. There is a little bit of lightning with these, a lot of lightning with this thunderstorm over Lake Butler. But besides an isolated tornado risk, that is basically all we are tracking. Okay, so tornado warning until 4:45. My guess is they are going to extend this. This is Baker, Bradford, and Union until 4:45 p.m. As it is over Lake Butler right now, it is turning a little bit more to the right or to the northeast. So I'm going to track this into southeast Baker County. McClinney, heads up, you aren't under a tornado warning, but this storm is very close to you right now, and it is going to pass on its current track just a little bit to your east. So stay with me here. Stay on the First Alert Weather app over about the next hour or so. This potentially tornadic storm, I'm tracking the whole storm now, not just the area of rotation. Sap at 4:35, Steckert 4:58. There's McClinney at 5:23. That is almost an hour from right now. Baldwin, we're talking the west side of Duval County at 5:43, and then Briceville at 6:04. We'll have to wait and see if the tornadic potential does extend over into Clay County and eventually Duval County. Typically with setups like this, these spin up, they don't last that long, and then they just go away. But some of these have shown the rotation for a decent amount of time. And so that is at least a little bit concerning for me. Those of you in Lake Butler, this thunderstorm is over you right now. So we're going to dive back down in here, and I'm going to show you where this potentially dangerous storm is located right now. Not a whole lot on the velocity image here. The colors aren't really bright. That's good. That doesn't mean there isn't a tornado in this thing. And it's very important that you stay safe and you don't try to go outside and see if there's a tornado in it. Most importantly, keep yourself, your family, and your property safe. As this storm is crossing, this is crossing State Road 100, southeast of Lake Butler, within just a mere matter of minutes here. So let's go down to street level mapping here. If you hear your road called out, this is a potentially dangerous storm, and the potentially dangerous part of the storm is going to be over you within a moment's notice. Southeast 9th Avenue, 4th Street Southeast, Southeast 10th Avenue, Northeast County Road 237. There is Southeast County Road 237. We're going to pan on up here. I need to take the lightning off here. It's hard to see. Northeast County Road 237, Northeast 207th Lane. Then we get up to State Road 121, Northeast 20th Avenue, Northeast 204th Lane, Northeast 118th Street, Northeast 209th Place, and there is Northeast County Road 237. That is along State Road 121, northeast of Lake Butler. And this is kind of what I was talking about earlier. This is what we call a hook echo. You see how there is just this little kink here. It looks like a little finger or a comma head. The radar presentation itself is actually picking up on the rotation and at least a potential tornado. You can't look at radar and say 100% there's a tornado with that storm, but radar gives us a really good idea. Okay, tornado warning continues until 4:45. At 4:32 p.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Lake Butler, moving northeast at 15 miles per hour. Okay, so the storm over Lake Butler now. You see the box flashing there? That's the National Weather Service just saying, hey, we're updating this tornado warning. So it is still until 4:45. They may have to adjust a little bit here over about the next 10 to 15 minutes or so as it leaves areas that were previously under the warning. If you live southwest of Lake Butler along State Road 121, Southwest County Road 239A, you are clear of this potentially tornadic storm. It's about to rain on you again, but at least the dangerous portions of the storm that I've been tracking here for about 1 hour are clearing your location. This is also for County Road 232. Let me make sure that's 231. County Road 231, south out of Lake Butler, you're also in the clear. If you're along State Road 100, out east of Lake Butler, you are still under this tornado warning. Ian, if you can, let's take Storm Analyst full. And I'm going to pop off the screen here and get a drink of water here pretty quick and adjust First Alert Storm Analyst so we can get just another look at this storm that is over Lake Butler as we're talking. So, okay, I'm going to switch the radar here. It's going to kind of change on you here in just 1 second. Rayford, heads up Rayford, this potentially tornadic storm headed your way right now. We're going to readjust here. There is Jacksonville on the panning on the right-hand side of First Alert Storm Analyst. And okay, so I'm going to zoom in here now, actually get control of it here through the Max computers. Here in the First Alert Weather Center, tracking a tornado warning until 4:45. This thunderstorm located over Lake Butler right now for Union, Bradford, and Clay County. Okay, here we go. We're going to zoom on in here just so you know where we are and what we're talking about. Here is Stark. Stark, you are not under any severe weather warning. Same with Lottie, Highland, Hugh, Maxville, Baldwin. This is the tornado warning, the red box, the tornado warning for Union and Baker County until 4:45 p.m. So now I'm going to keep zooming in here so we can see Lake Butler. There is Rayford and New River. New River is just on the bottom part of the screen here. I'm going to drag it up so you can see it there. There, we can see all three of the towns. So, Lake Butler. If you live east of Lake Butler along State Road 100, you got to be in your place of safety right now. This is a potentially tornadic storm. It doesn't have a history of producing a tornado, but this is an image on radar that tells me I got to watch this really closely here. And this is the velocity here. So this is typically what you see on First Alert Doppler HD. We call that reflectivity. And then this is actually the velocity or the wind. First Alert Doppler HD can detect the wind in thunderstorms. And we're looking from Jacksonville. Jacksonville is way up here on the top right corner. The green is the wind moving toward the radar. That's moving toward. The red is moving away. And you have it right next to each other. You have away and then you have toward right next to each other. And that's how you get that little bit of rotation. So right now it's pretty broad. It's not really tight. You want the red to get really tight and you want the red and green to get really bright. And right here they're actually right next to each other. So this could potentially be a tornado on the ground along State Road 100, basically halfway between the Union and Bradford County line and the east side of downtown Lake Butler. Downtown Lake Butler, you are at least in the clear right now. It's still going to be windy and there is still heavy rain. But the potentially tornadic part of the storm is to your east and your southeast. We're tracking this on First Alert Storm Analyst. It looks a little bit different from what you typically see. But it just gives us another viewpoint of the thunderstorms as they track. And this is something I'm going to hang with it here because this is a decent radar presentation. And I'm kind of talking like a scientist or a meteorologist here. But let's switch back to Max 1, Ian. And we'll go to street level mapping here so we can actually dive down and talk about where this is and where it is going. Okay, so we also have a significant weather advisory for Suwannee and Hamilton County. Folks, if it stops raining on you, it's not going to stop raining for that long because there are more bands of rain that are moving in. The next band of heavy showers stretches basically from Daytona Beach all the way up to Lake City. So this is still Tropical Storm Cristobal. And yeah, it's responsible for this spin in the atmosphere and the potential for tornadic storms. Going to turn the lightning back on here. And there's still a lot of lightning in this cell it is moving east of Lake Butler now. Excuse me. But if you are east of Lake Butler along State Road 100, you need to be seeking shelter at this time. Northeast County Road 237, Northeast 117th Terrace, Northeast 20th Avenue, Northeast County Road 793, Central Avenue, South County Road 229, as we are moving up into Northeast Union County along State Road 121. If you live along State Road 121, it is pounding rain on you right now, and there's a lot of lightning, and the potentially tornadic part of the storm is also headed your way. Ian? Okay, nothing here. I think my IFB just cleared out. Tornado warning until Sunday at 4:45. Circulation still present in cell near Lake Butler. Still monitoring for possible extension of warning. So the National Weather Service watching this very closely. East of Lake Butler, We're kind of getting into the area now where Union and Bradford County meet. West of Lottie, State Road, this is 16. State Road 16, South County Road 229, Northwest County Road 229, State Road 125, there's State Road 121. If you live along State Road 121, heads up over about the next 30 minutes to 1 hour. If you live northeast of Lake Butler, in between Lake Butler and McClinney, you got to stay weather aware here for about the next 30 minutes to 1 hour at least. So I'm going to switch back to velocity mode here, and we still have, this is the bright green right next to the red. So this is certainly showing a rotation, and it's potentially tightening up here a little bit. Again, you can't say with 100% certainty, just looking at radar, that there is a tornado. You can get a really good idea, but this is where storm spotters come in very handy. Ground truth means means everything here with the weather. This is the circulation that we are tracking east of Lake Butler along State Road 100. This is clearing State Road 100. If you are in Lake Butler proper, near the intersection of State Road 100, State Road 121, and west, you are in the clear. The tornado warning still includes you. We'll have to wait and see if it still includes you as the tornado warning is extended, but the serious and dangerous part of the storm is clearing you right now. So those of you east of Lake Butler, remain in your place of safety or take shelter right now. If you're in Rayford, this is headed your way. Flooding rainfall and tornado threats going to be the big story over the next few hours here in Northeast Florida. A bit of an overview here. I'm going to zoom out. Here in Northeast Florida, a break from the rain here in Duval County and St. Johns County. Some light spotty shower activity as just a few weak bands are crossing I-95 and headed out toward the coast. And then we get into the potentially tornadic part of the storms, and we have a brand new tornado warning. This is for Baker County. This includes Baker. At 4:42 p.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Beasley or near Rayford, moving northeast at 15 miles per hour. This is until 5:15 p.m. A tornado warning until 5:15 for Union, Baker, and Bradford County. This does include part of McClinney. Those of you in McClinney, the thunderstorm is not on your doorstep, but you need to be ready to seek shelter. Now, your phone is maybe going off. You may be getting an alert in the First Alert Weather app. The potentially tornadic part of this storm is still a long way away, and I can actually show you how long here. Let me get that box off. And Baker, Bradford, Union, until 5:15 p.m. That's correct. Okay, so this storm is still about 20 miles. The tornadic part of the storm is 20 miles away from McClinney. If you live in McClinney or around McClinney, make sure you know what to do. Have your tornado precaution plan right now. It is the tornadic part of the storm is still far away from you, so you have time. You need to be thinking about your safe place to go if you live in McClinney. If you're in Jacksonville and you're about to go west on I-10, I say just wait a little bit. This thunderstorm will be crossing I-10 very near McClinney, and it has had a history of showing rotation. There has not been a confirmed tornado on this storm, but we did have a confirmed tornado back by Lake City. So if you're about to drive out on I-10, I'd say wait. I'd say wait about 30 minutes to 1 hour. Let this thunderstorm go by, because you don't want to be dealing with a potential tornado if you are out on the roads. Okay, let's zoom back down in here to Lake Butler. Let's check in on the velocity here. And we still have a rotation here that is showing up on First Alert Doppler HD. Excuse me, I've been talking here for probably about 1 hour, closer to an hour and 15 minutes with the confirmed tornadoes southwest of Lake City. We're here on CBS 47, and we're going to stay here until we don't have any tornado warnings that are threatening communities. Unfortunately, we have that right now, and we have had that for about the last 1 hour or so. As Rayford, you are in the path of this potentially tornadic storm, and then eventually McClenny. McClenny is still a long way away from you, but you have to have your tornado precaution in your plan and be ready to move. Be ready to move when I say to. You are under a tornado warning, but it is about 20 miles away from you. Looking a little bit brighter here on the velocities as we're getting updates here in the First Alert Weather Center and First Alert Doppler HD. Those of you listening to us on 104.5 WOKV as well, if you are driving on I-10, if you are leaving Duval County or headed to Baker County, there is some rain over McClenny now. This potentially tornadic storm is over Lake Butler, and it is tracking toward McClenny and I-10 west of Highway 301. So let's time it out here. This is the tornado warning until 5:15. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Beasley or near Rayford, moving northeast at 15 miles per hour. So it's moving northeast. Here we go. Okay, let's make sure the timing is good here. Okay, this is the leading edge of the storm when it moves into your neighborhood. And eventually we're talking about the west side of Duval County here. So heads up Duval if you're west of I-95, mainly along Highway 301. Timing this out, this is when the rain begins for this potentially tornadic storm. Steckert, 504. Besant, 508. McClenny at 532. Baldwin, 547. And Briceville at 610. So Baldwin, that's the west side of Duval County, there before 6 o'clock. And then Briceville, we're talking southern Nassau County, just after 6 o'clock. Now let's dive back down into Union County, and I'm going to track the circulation itself. The thunderstorm has almost completely cleared Lake Butler. That's good news. The good news is the potentially tornadic part of the storm is leaving you in Lake Butler, but it is tracking back toward neighborhoods like Rayford, State Road 121, State Road 125 as it curves back toward Lottie. So, okay, the potentially tornadic part of this storm also moving northeast at about 15 miles per hour is headed for Johnstown at 4:51, just a couple of minutes from right now. Rayford, 501. Rayford, you need to be in your place of safety. That is an interior closet or bathroom away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside of your home as you can. Ellerby, 514. Sap at 526. And Manning at 535. Mobile homes, not a good place to be if we are dealing with tornadoes. If there is a public shelter or you know a family member or a friend that you can seek shelter with, go there right now. You want to move right now and take action now so you aren't doing it when a severe storm is directly on top of you. So this tornado warning, it does include McClenny and portions of southeastern Baker County. It does not include Duval County. McClenny, even those of you in McClenny, the potentially tornadic part of the storm, still far away from you. It is still about 30 minutes to 1 hour away, but it is still here, and it has shown some signs of at least trying to produce a tornado at any time. And this is really the only storm, the serious storm that we have to contend with right now here in Northeast Florida. I am tracking some more rain bands here. I'm going to zoom out here. We're going to reset, just kind of give an overview here. Those of you in Southeast Georgia, your severe threat pretty low through this afternoon and even into the evening. But there is this other rain band that is moving up. There is more lightning down by Gainesville. This other band that basically stretches from Lake City down toward Daytona Beach. This is going to be moving in next. I don't see any signs that there may be some of these that are rotating, but I'm going to have to watch them really closely. This thunderstorm that has a tornado warning with it, very near the Union and Bradford County line, tracking into southeast Baker County, one area of concern right now. And this tornado warning is until 5:15, is for Baker, Bradford, and Union County. This circulation going to track very near the county line of Union and Bradford and Baker, all where they all kind of meet. They're south of I-10 and north of Rayford and south of McClinney. So, okay, let's go down to street level mapping. I'm going to show you where the rotation is right now. It is still there. It doesn't look all that impressive. That's at least a little bit of good news. We still have the green that is right next to the red. And so that's why there is at least still a little cause for concern as this thunderstorm is tracking up towards South County Road 229. State Road 121. If you live on State Road 121 near Rayford, northeast of Lake Butler, near the county line of Union and Bradford County, you need to take shelter immediately. This is going to track through and very near Rayford within about the next 5 to 10 minutes. I'm going to take the radar off here, and we're going to just talk about the tornado warning box itself. So there is Rayford. There's State Road 121. There's State Road 16. This is State Road 16 where it curves back around there just east of Rayford. It crosses the county line. As we track up toward State Road 125, there is Northeast 68th Avenue, Northwest 257th Street, County Road 199, Northeast 269th Lane, Northwest 267th Street. These are all near Union and the Bradford County line. They're northeast of Rayford. This storm is clearing Lake Butler. This is very near the Union Correctional Institute. This is near the prison. They're just on the east side of Rayford. That's the prison right there. That's the prison. Those are the buildings where there aren't as many trees. Where State Road 16 meets State Road 121. Okay, we have. That is from earlier. This tornado warning continues until 5:15 as the tornadic part of the storm very near the county line of Union and Bradford County, southwest of State Road 16, just on the southwest side of Rayford. If you're just now joining us here on CBS 47, we have a tornado warning, a few tornadic thunderstorms this afternoon and early this evening here in Northeast Florida. What has turned into a kind of an active weather day. There were tornadoes down by Orlando yesterday. The ingredients are here locally today for a few of these thunderstorms to actually rotate and drop a tornado. And we actually have had a confirmed tornado southwest of Lake City. This was an hour ago. This was at 3:35 p.m. Tornado touchdown near State Road 47, 2 miles southwest of I-75. Power lines and large trees down along State Road 47. That was in Columbia County. I'm going to check out Twitter here and see if we have any pictures or videos to talk about here. We have the tornado report. And so far, that's it. But we also have the tornado warnings that are the tornado warning that is ongoing right now. It is just one. We have it for Baker, Bradford, and Union County. And I'm going to do kind of another little reset here, just talk about the whole area. If you are in Jacksonville, you're in the clear, at least for right now. You're going to have to monitor these very closely to see how they impact the metro area. There are some scattered showers here from Palatka stretching back up toward Lake City. This is just another band of rain, and we've seen these off and on for about the last 24 to 36 hours here. These are outer bands of Tropical Storm Cristobal. And right now, just one storm that we have that is potentially dangerous here northeast of Lake Butler near Rayford, tracking into southeast Baker County. And this may potentially try to clip Duval, Nassau, and the northwestern corner of Clay County. St. Johns County, you're in the clear right now. There's not much going on. Some light rain leaving St. Augustine. The rain is about to move back in. I don't see anything tornadic with this line at this time, but I'm going to have to watch it pretty closely here over the next hour or two. If you get these thunderstorms that are kind of by themselves, I'm kind of zooming out of the area here. This is Daytona Beach. There's Orlando, west of I-75. you get these that are by themselves. They can just kind of do whatever they want. And those are the ones that we have to watch really closely, at least for the potential to drop a tornado. So I've been here basically all day. I was here this morning. I'm going to be here until about midnight, just keeping a really close eye on everything through the day today. So you are covered here in the First Alert Weather Center, and you're covered always in the First Alert Weather app. So, okay, I have a tweet. This is storm damage from tornado warned storm, State Road 47, just south of I-75. So this is from the confirmed tornado. And so, Ian, this is... Okay. I'm going to send this over to my director, and we are going to get this on television so I can show you. These are damage pictures from the confirmed tornado that I mentioned to you just about 5 minutes ago. And there are a few tweets in that thread, and it looks like some pretty good damage. The report was big, large trees down, also power lines southwest of Lake City. And I was telling you about that storm there around 3:30. So I've been tracking these storms ever since. The one tornado warning that we have, this is for Baker, Bradford, and Union County. This is until 5:15. Still rotation in the cell near Union-Bradford border. Okay, so the National Weather Service is still seeing a little rotation with this. Here's what I'm seeing, folks. So we have the tornado warning, and we have this rain that is moving into Stark and Lake Butler. I think this is going to kind of overtake this cell and maybe prevent this from remaining tornadic. We'll have to watch it, and we're going to be here on television until there are no more tornado warnings. Ian, let's take a look at that video. This was on Twitter, and wow, that is a really big tree trunk there that is on the ground. This is from southwest of Lake City in Columbia County, very near Columbia. This is the storm report that we had, the confirmed tornado that we had around 3:35 this afternoon. We got this video in from Twitter, and we're trying to get it to play here. Just bear with us here. Johnny Handy sent these in on Twitter. He sent these to the National Weather Service. And yeah, I think that's a pretty good indication there of at least a very, very strong storm and damaging winds. But this is where we had that tornado report. They're in Columbia County, southwest of Lake City, and looks like a pole sheared off there. There are some power lines that are down. You see the tree branches there in the yard. This was from earlier, not the current tornado warning that we have for Lake Butler, but really good ground truth and really good video. It just looped back to the beginning here of a very large tree, at the very least damaging winds, but the National Weather Service did confirm a tornado with this storm southwest of Lake City. Perfect, Ian. Thank you very much. Back here to First Alert Doppler HD. I'm going to keep an eye on Twitter here for any other pictures. Ian, if you can click around on that Johnny Handy guy, he tweeted out a couple more pictures, so we can use those. He also said, we're free to use them. No structural damage or injuries that I'm aware of. So that's good news. That is the one tornado report that we have here southwest of Lake City earlier this afternoon. This tornado warning continues for Lake City. Let me give an update here, and then we'll go back to the pictures. Tornado warning continues for Baker, Bradford, Union counties until 5:15. At 4:58, a severe storm capable of producing a tornado was over Rayford, moving northeast at 10 miles per hour. This storm is over Rayford right now. If you're in Rayford, you need to be in your place of safety, as the potentially tornadic part of this storm is right here, right on the southwest side of Rayford. There's South County Road 229, State Road 121. They're south out of Rayford, northeast 117th Terrace, northeast 209th Avenue, northeast 222nd Court. There is Northeast County Road 793. There is Rayford proper, Northeast 224 Lane, Northeast 227th Loop, and then North County Road 229. Let's check in on the velocities here. And there is still a bit of a signature here showing at least some weak rotation. And this is just on the south side of Rayford. The area potentially producing a tornado at any time is just south of State Road 121 and just south of Rayford. It's going to cross South County Road 229, just south or right on top of downtown Rayford, or at least downtown Rayford proper, there along State Road 121. Let's head back to the storm reports that we had from earlier. This tornado report that we have southwest of Lake City. This was at 3:35 p.m. This was earlier today. This is not the storm over Lake Butler. Ian, let's take a look at the pictures whenever you got them and check it out. This is a tree trunk that is just sheared off, and you can see the branches here off to the side, and at least two more trees in this picture that show they're either completely broken off or they are bent. So let's go to the next one, and that looks like maybe a building that received a little bit of damage. You see the pickup trucks there. And that looks like just a wall that has maybe been blown over, especially right there. Or perhaps a carport. Yeah, that's true. Thank you, Ian. Let's go to the next one. Okay, there's the road. Look at the power line that is down and some more lines that are touching the ground here. Some tree limbs and debris that are scattered around there on the road. And there is Lake City Police and the fire truck there that is blocking the road. And let's look at the last one. And that looks like the same trees that we saw just a second ago that are basically just sheared off here. And don't know where this part of the tree is. It may be that. This tree, it's broken off and it's bent. It's not completely disconnected. There's another tree stump right there that is also just kind of sheared off from what has been confirmed to be a tornado. So this was from earlier today. Again, in Lake City, that is the storm report. This was southwest of Lake City. This was near State Road 47, 2 miles southwest of I-75. Power lines and large trees down along State Road 47. I'd say that's what we just saw there with those pictures reported on Twitter. That was at 3:35 p.m. and I was tracking that, telling you about it minute by minute there in southern Columbia County as it was tracking toward Lake City. At least for right now, no words of a confirmed tornado in Lake City or in Lake Butler or Rayford. But we're going to go back down to Union and Bradford County here. This is Rayford near the prison. There is Rayford. The prison is right here along State Road 16, where 16 curves. It takes that big curve down to the southeast if you're headed out of Rayford and out of town from State Road 121, South County Road 229. This wiggly line right here is the county line between Union and Bradford County. And these thunderstorms have a history of producing tornadoes. This one specifically doesn't. That's the good news, but that thunderstorm over in Lake City did produce a tornado, and it's an atmosphere that's just very ripe here. So we got to keep a very close eye on this. Looks like this thunderstorm is weakening, and looks to me like it is weakening significantly, though it still has the rotation with it. Tornado warning until 5:15 p.m. We'll have to wait and see what the Weather Service does here. They may extend it because there is still a little bit of wind with this. But you see the lightning. The lightning was exploding over Lake Butler, and now it's almost completely gone. In fact, in this storm, there are no lightning strikes that have occurred within the last 10 minutes. So there is rain that is moving back in from the south. Lake Butler, it's about to rain on you again, and this may actually be helping to kind of cut off this thunderstorm from potentially producing a tornado. So that is good news. Mother Nature sometimes actually works to our advantage. Not all the time, but we're still tracking this tornado warning. And as long as there are tornado warnings over populated areas, then we're going to be here. We have NASCAR on Fox 30. So we're here on CBS 47. We're also running the crawl, the information that is scrolling there at the bottom of the screen. So, okay. Tornado warning until 5:15. Still for Baker, Union, Bradford County. McClenny no longer included in this tornado warning. Important to update that. McClenny, you're not included in this tornado warning. You just have some rain that is over you right now. The potentially tornadic part of the storm is basically due south of you. It is over Rayford right now, very near the prison and very near the county line between Union, Bradford, and Baker County. So let's zoom out here. We'll kind of get an overview here. If you're just joining us or you don't know what is going on here, this is just the latest rain band from Tropical Storm Cristobal in the Gulf of Mexico. It's a long way away from us, but it has been sending moisture our way. Jacksonville International Airport has received 3 inches of rain today. We've received 2.8 inches of rain here on the south side at the Action News Jax studios. It was very wet early this morning and basically through early this afternoon. And we're kind of in a break here. We're kind of in a lull here in Duval, Clay, and St. Johns County. The rain is moving back into St. Johns. There is a little bit of lightning and thunder in southern Putnam County. And these thunderstorms have some reports and at least a history of producing some funnel clouds down in central Florida. So I'll have to keep an eye on those and we'll monitor those closely. But right now, the only storm that is potentially dangerous is on the Union and Bradford County line. We also have some shower activity that is near the Florida-Georgia border, basically due west out from Jacksonville along and north of I-10. And not much rain other than that in southeast Georgia. Most of the rain through this afternoon and evening is going to be in northeast Florida. You'll still get some showers if you're in Folkestone, potentially as far north as Brunswick and Nahunta. But the big show for the rain, basically for the rest of the afternoon and evening, is going to be in northeast Florida, south of the Florida-Georgia line. We're getting some reports here from the National Weather Service of rainfall amounts around 7 to 9 inches of rain, which is absurd. It is an absurd amount of rain. And if you were watching us on Facebook early this morning around 10 a.m., I was tracking some flooded roadways in Duval County, west of downtown, Cassett Avenue and I-10, the typical flood-prone areas that picked up a lot of rain. There was a thunderstorm early this morning that maybe you heard it, maybe it woke you up, maybe you enjoyed it, just some nice good old-fashioned rain that we had here. Okay, so what's happening now is we still have the tornado warning for Rayford, for Union and Bradford County, and also Baker County. But, excuse me, we have what we call a cell merger. We have rain to the south that is starting to pick up and move into this storm that was by itself. It was isolated, it was discrete, and potentially producing a tornado. But now we're seeing rain from the south actually lift back up into it, and that may actually work to weaken the cell. So let's dive back down to street level mapping here. Rayford, the potential circulation is over you right now, but I have seen some weakening with this cell. The lightning has basically gone away. The rotation is weaker here, and we still have some of that green and some of that red, but they aren't as bright. And just to show you an example here, look at how bright it was. This was at 4:57. Look at how bright it is right there. And then as I roll it forward, it gets less and less bright. So that's an indication to me that we are seeing some weakening in this cell. We now have a flash flood watch for Duval County and Clay County as well, as more heavy rain bands will be tracking across northeast Florida over the next few hours. And the potential for little spin-up tornadoes will also be there too. So make sure you stay weather aware this evening. I do expect that things will try to wind down a little bit as we get into this evening and tonight. I have not had the chance to to make the forecast. We sit down, all the numbers you see when we give you the first alert forecast, we put in ourselves. I haven't had the chance to actually make all that out yet because Mother Nature has had different plans. And so we still have the tornado warning. This is until 5:15. Lake City, you are getting rain and thunderstorms again. Looks to be non-severe at this time. I'll keep a close eye on it though. And we have that flash flood watch for Clay and Duval County. That is until 1 a.m. 1 a.m. tomorrow morning that we have a flash flood watch in effect. So we have rain that is basically just conglomerating right now northeast of Lake Butler over Rayford. A sign to me that this shower is weakening. The tornadic potential right now at this moment in time is still there. You still need to be in your place of safety if you are in Rayford. But it looks to me like this is weakening. We're going to get an update here from the National Weather Service here very soon. The tornado warning goes until 5:15. It's 5:11. So we've got just about 3 more minutes of this tornado warning. And right there, the National Weather Service has expired the tornado warning for Baker, Bradford, and Union County. There are no tornado warnings in effect for Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia. The computer is going to keep this up here a little bit past its due, but just in from the National Weather Service, the tornado warning has been expired. Thank you, Ian. For Baker, Bradford, and Union County, tornado warning no longer in effect. More rain is tracking this way. There is an isolated tornado threat in addition to the flooding rain like we have already seen. So we're going to hop off television here. And I'm going to sit down and get the forecast together. Ian, when are we going on for the newscast? Is it at 6:30? We're going to be on 6:30 on CBS 47. And I'm going to track the storms where they are. And I'm going to show you where they go when they come to an end. The storms return more afternoon and evening wise. And it gets hot again pretty soon as well. And so I'll be giving you the latest coming up here on CBS 47 at 6:30. The First Alert Weather app, a very handy tool to have, especially right now. It's going to be the first to tell you about severe weather that is over your neighborhood. It uses your location and it will tell you what is going to impact you when you need to know it the most. So stay tuned. Keep an eye to the sky over the next couple hours. I'll be doing the same thing. I'll be with you right here on CBS 47 coming up at 6:30. That is about an hour and 15 minutes from right now. We'll see you then.
From Action News Jax, this has been a First Alert Weather Update.
Hey, 2 hours, man.